Hey guys, it's Tyson Johnson joining you for another Six Pack Dad Tribe podcast episode. I'm so excited to have Lyle Updike joining us here today, and I was telling him, hey, just earlier this week we did another interview with almost a guy in his cohort who also hit his 3.5 years being a tribe member and sustaining a result. And Lyle is another one of these just amazing stories. So Lyle, say hi.
Hey everyone, it's good to meet you. Lyle Updike, I'm here in San Antonio, Texas. Yeah, and I started, when was it, Tyson? December of 2020.
Yes.
So,
If you don't mind, Lyle, you're a unique guy. Tell us just kind of Cliff Notes version, like age, what you've done professionally, any recent pivots as it relates to family, career, servant leadership, just so they can kind of get a sense as to who you are.
sure. Yeah. So we'll start with family. So I'm married. I have six kids, including three teenagers. So any pointers from anybody would be appreciated. No, I have though two out of the house and off the payroll. That one actually just graduated from college with a degree in global supply chain management. And then I have a daughter who's a senior in college this next year. I have a son who's a freshman in college, but is taking a break. And he's going to actually head out on a mission for the church to Birmingham, England. So that's exciting. And then three kiddos still in the nest, 15, 14, and 11. And it's fun keeping up with them, their friends. It's a blast. So that's fantastic. Career-wise, I was with Rackspace for almost 16 years. It was a cloud computing company, and I came in with them towards the beginning when they were private. They went public, then private, then public again. I hung on for that whole ride, and so was able to be part of a really nice buyout with the company when they split. I could have gone zigged or zagged, left or right, but said let's enjoy this, right? And so I did plan at that point to get into another career at some point in my life, but hadn't really thought much about it. And then in September, got an assignment, a call to head to Norway as a mission leader with my wife. So yeah, it's been busy. I became a grandpa in October this last year. I'll be a grandpa again. Our second child's having a baby in June. And so here I am, a grandpa. I'm glad I found this Six Pack Dad Tribe before before becoming a grandpa, Tyson. But no, it's been a great ride. We feel very, what we'd say is blessed, right? But have, like all of you, have seen a ton of change in my personal and family life and work life over the last few years.
Thanks, Lyle. And
Yeah.
you have a very youthful, energetic appearance, but just for our listeners, you're in your late 40s, is that correct?
Yeah, 47 years
Okay.
old. That's right. Yeah. And
Yeah.
so yeah, lots of fun trying to stay young. It's tricky.
Yep.
But these are the golden years. I'm trying to prep for this midlife crisis that's supposed to come.
Yeah. Well, awesome. So let's go back to December of 2020. Really interesting because most people, when they're thinking about their health, the last thing they would do during right before Christmas is join a nutrition coaching, fat loss coaching company, and you've been wickedly successful. So, do you mind just connect with the audience a little bit? What was going on in your life that prompted you to want to move your health to the next level?
I, that's a great question. So, and it was Christmas. I think it was Christmas Eve was my first official day. That's like the worst time of the year. But what I was really looking for was just a way to transform. I wasn't happy with my weight, with my energy. I didn't know how to, I guess, eat right. There's so many opinions everywhere. But what I really was looking for was something that could be truly transformational, not the quick South Beach diet. Hey, lose 10 pounds in 10 days, or do this or do that. And most of the things I had found wasn't transformational, wasn't sustainable for me. It wasn't teaching me like the fundamental principles of this is really what you need to do long term that you will like, that's natural and normal, right? But they were just off a little bit. Other than let's diet and exercise. Okay, well can we break that down a little more? And I didn't get that breakdown in a way that was. So I was really looking for something that was sustainable. And so I figured if it's Christmas Eve and it's sustainable and transformational, it won't matter when it is that I start because it'll be something I'll be slowly changing my lifestyle. It won't be torture for a month and oh, I do it that month, right? But so I said, well, if it's transformational, which it was as I was talking to you about it, I said, well, I can start that anytime. If it's truly transformational, if not, then I better wait until it's convenient. No, no, no. If it's transformational, then that means I can slowly change one thing at a time or two things at a time and then over time I will truly be changed, right? And so that's kind of the irony of it, of starting Christmas Eve instead of, oh, let's get through the holidays. No, let's just understand the principles and figure out. And so I was grateful that y'all just jumped in immediately on Christmas Eve. I think I had my first call with my coach, and he walked me through what to do, and I started that day. It was awesome.
That's so neat. I love your thoughts around transformation and around just a sustainable thing that really hits a lot of the pain points with a lot of our listeners. So tell us, Lyle, if you don't mind, and I'm looking at your tracker now so I can help you with the details, but according to your memories, you think about 12 weeks out from December 2020. Think like in terms of 12s, like 12 weeks out and then 12 months out, and then where you're at today. Any of just approximate numbers, what results that you've seen, just so they can see that time frame.
Yeah, so 12 weeks out, I mean, your body needs change, right? And it likes little changes here and there. And so anytime you do something, you should see results pretty quick, I think. Because your body shocks, but then your body can get used to what you're doing and it figures out, you're trying to whatever, I'm happy at this weight or I'm happy here. And so it can respond differently. But if I recall, 12 weeks in, I would probably had lost about 25 pounds, I'm guessing. Tyson, you've got my tracker up. I think I started it, I don't remember, with December. I'd lost 10 pounds before on this crazy crash, whatever, between Thanksgiving and December. I know it's 227. I think I started at 217 and then got down to, by 12 weeks in, maybe I was 195. Does that sound right?
Yeah, it says 190.
190, yeah. So 25 pounds. And then I ended up getting down to, I think, 183 just within the next 4 weeks. And I wanted to just, I was happy, I think at 195 or 190. I couldn't remember what my initial target was, but then I wanted to just see, hey, I'm going to keep going and see what can I really get down. And so I went beyond 190 to 185 and then said, can I keep going to 190, 183? And that was not somewhere I needed to be. I was lighter than my son, who was 6'2" and 20 years old. But then I found a happy spot within 12 months. I found a happier spot between 195 and 200 is kind of a happy place. The body fat too, with the fasting and just the principles, the body fat really sheds super quick. And I know for some people that's a huge challenge, but my body fat got down into the 7s. And I don't remember exactly what it got down to, Tyson. You may have it right there, but and that was okay, but that wasn't Mr. Sustainable. I'd have to, I just wasn't, that wasn't my desire to stay way down there. But within 12 months, I was still right at 9 or 10%. And I was right around 195, which was happy. And now I was like 201 and I'm just under 11%. And it's awesome. And it feels good. Lots of energy still. And so that's where I'm at. But the important thing is that I'm not thinking about it every day, right? I'm not like, oh, I got to get 162 grams of protein in or whatever. But I've made the changes in my life where I know what to do. And I just feel it. I'm really careful with like 8 or 9 things that are still different, but they're not hard for me anymore because I've been doing them forever. And there's a couple of things I was doing initially that I'm not doing as much anymore, right? I don't worry about like, I had to always have these high protein snacks, and now I'm not, my body doesn't really crave snacks. I'm good just with meals, right? And I don't track everything like I used to. I tracked everything religiously for, I think, 370 days straight. And that meant the world, and that helped a ton. It kept me accountable, and it was the truth of how am I really doing here. And so that was big. The weight training was important a year in for like 6 days a week, literally. And I know that's probably not recommended, but I do a little cardio, 15-minute to 20-minute of cardio, and then I'd work a different muscle set every day, whether it was chest or back or shoulders or triceps, biceps, right? Or legs. And I just committed to one each day. And as you're doing that as your primary, you have the secondary ones that kick in as well. But so I've shifted that now where it's 3 days a week, and just because it's a little more sustainable. But it's fun. It was fun just experimenting with things in the first 12 weeks, 12 months, and then since over the last 2 years or so, I've just landed on this is what I'm going to do every day, kind of the rest of my life, every week. This is kind of where I'm at. And I have little goals and challenges that I give myself to keep it mixed up, but that's where I'm at.
It's truly a unicorn story, Lyle, and I'm smiling because it's actually very similar to mine. As I look back to 2004, um, it's similar to yours. Started around 20% body fat, got to sub 10 pretty quickly, and then the last 19 and a half years has been, hey, I don't want this to be the center of my life. I don't want to live in the gym. My faith, my family, my career is what really matters, serving people. And I just want to get this thing on autopilot. I don't want to have to track anymore. And it's you're now years into that maintenance of so many guys in their late 40s. It would blow their mind to be around 10% body fat and maintaining that. Um, let's kind of close out with, as you think about, so you've essentially retired, but now you're entering a new chapter of full-time servant leadership. It's just an extension of
Yeah.
who you are, really giving back. You're still a young father. As I've watched you progress, you've talked about how this journey of discipline and accountability has affected your character in terms of patience, in terms of energy. As you kind of look ahead to the next chapter of your life, I think it might be powerful for you to share any thoughts around why your health is so complementary to who you are as a person and kind of your purpose in life. Or in other words, if you were still at 217 and still felt kind of overweight, how would that affect what you're trying to do right now in life?
I appreciate that question. There's subtle things that you think about, or little um where you're not confident, or just if you don't have the discipline, right? And people can see that a little, or feel that, or take hints, and it's not something that's right out there and everybody sees it, but just for me, the confidence I have now that I have self-mastery over this aspect of my life has kind of bled into other areas of my life, right? Where I have self-mastery in other areas that I'm working on, and whether it's in my relationships, or like you said, professionally or spiritually, all these other areas. So to conquer this has helped me, not just physically, but has helped me in some of these other facets of my life, and it's made all the difference to me. I just had a reunion with 10 guys I grew up with. It's a 30-year reunion. We went to church together, and we did all kinds of things together, and we just met last Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and it was awesome. When they saw me, they were like, "Wow, Lyle, you're in shape. What are you doing?" And some of them, are in a shape. It's a pear shape, or it's a whatever shape, right? Everything's a shape. And it's not judgmental, but it's like they respect. There's some respect there. They all realize that it takes a lot of discipline and a lot of hard work to get there. A couple of them were in really good shape. I had just run a half marathon last Saturday, which was awesome, in spite of having a broken rib, which stinks, and being at a high altitude. But it was just great. And so there's some confidence that comes with it. not just physically, but in other ways, as you can show yourself and others that I have kind of this self mastery, and I've been able to conquer the natural man, so to speak. Right? I've been able to overcome that and figure out developing the habits that I can conquer myself, which is, I think, the greatest challenge and the greatest beast of all. So as you conquer yourself in one area, you'll find I've found that it's easier in other areas to be effective and to conquer all those little beasts in you. So.
Thank you for sharing that. Any any final words as we think about people who might be listening to this now and wanting to take themselves to a different plane with their health, with their weight, just things that just insights or parting pieces of advice as you look back over the last 3.5 years with your journey?
Yeah, we all want to be here, right? And most of us are here. And so what you don't want to do is is get here, right? Or even here, you just want to get here and stay there, right? And then get here. And you might slide back, but then get here. And so it's easy to compare yourself with yourself or others, but you want to really be honest about how am I really doing in whatever areas. Be honest with yourself. Um, and you're tempted, I am, to not be honest about how I'm really doing about things, right? Whether I know early on there's a lot of reporting, there's tracking, there's other things, but you want to just be brutally honest with yourself and then realize everybody's different. We have different DNA. So it's easy to compare, but there really isn't a comparison to. But I would just say chip away at it, just a tiny piece at a time. And that's sustainable versus doing everything perfectly for 5 weeks and then regressing, right? You don't want to do that. So I would just be honest, define for yourself the areas that you need to figure out and work on. I've found 14 areas that I wanted to figure out, and then I just tracked every single one every single week. I don't know. I don't think I ever uploaded those 14 or that tracker. I have a spreadsheet that I track for an entire year of how am I really, really doing with carbs, with protein, with workouts, with snacks, with my meal frequency, and so, with tracking everything, with my water, with fiber, with my calorie deficit of 1,500, which was my target, with sodium, how am I really doing under 2,500 milligrams, with a variety of my cardio, with the fasting, with not ruining my numbers on weekends or family and social events. How did I do today? How did I do this week? And so as I track that for you every single week, that helped me. But if you're honest with yourself, you just try to chip away, and instead of, oh, I was a 2 out of 10 this week, let's get to an 8. No, let's get to a 3. 3 look like for that, and had a little interview with myself that helped me a ton. So I would just chip away would be my parting advice here, Tyson, and that'll get you some real change over time that will be sustainable and transformational.
Well, I think this is a great just kind of closing insight, and I want to pay you a quick compliment when you referenced your 14 points of self accountability. We have now had, so this started for me as a side hustle in 2018, building the tribe. It still is. We've had about 185 people go through the program now, and your 14 points of accountability, every single new member now sees that as one of the tabs on their Google sheet, and it's Lyle's 14 points. And the reason why I want to make that a closing comment, you guys, is you think about Lyle and his courage, and we usually don't know that our choice is affecting lots of other people, right? Lyle joined this in December of 2020 just to lose some weight and get healthier long term. And I can't help but believe his 6 kids and his spouse have benefited, not to mention hundreds of people in the tribe that Lyle doesn't even know about, who are now able to see his 14 points and how that's impacted his life. And so my closing message, as with Lyle as a case study, is pursue your health, and let's take control and gain some self-mastery. And you don't even know the lives that you will bless in the process. And so Lyle, we thank you for your time, excited for you as a future mission leader, and thanks for all the lives that you've blessed with this journey.
Thank you, Tyson. Hey, we all have a 6-pack, guys. It's under there somewhere. Go find it.
Thank you again so much, Lyle.
You bet. You take care. We'll see you.
All right, bye.
Yeah, bye.